German is the second best team in Europe on that map. I think close to secret, and I think that Falcons is up there as the best one. It is the map that G2 absolutely...
And I think with G2, with the kind of trend that we've seen, whenever they handled that, and two of the missing sort of factors there that we had in that game were Freck. They've cleared that hallway. Now it's just a case of getting this main wall open and then executing. You look at all the util that they still have. You've got all the smokes. You've got the Ying. I mean, everything right now is going G2's way, I feel.
Well, Stumpin gets the first frag as well, and he's looking for the second across Janitors, but he can't quite get the shot in towards the bow. So the Glass moves in under the cover of the smoke. They've got themselves close for a 5v4. Took a risk, and unfortunately went gambling and didn't really get anything. There's the roll. The Candle is going deep, as does the players. They've cut themselves in. Doki's looking for a fight, and he finds one. Looks for a second. Can't quite get it on Robbie, but Lawyer will have to pick back up. Leaves nobody left. G2 suddenly, but
we'll speak. Nobody will open up first. They'll just stand there waiting to be told what to do.
They look around to their IGL to ask what to do. Well, that's the way. Alamau gets Virtue on the split, but they do get
Frack to get out of there. BDS. Quite rightly so. Just go back to site, sit in your hands. You got a minute 15 to run down the clock. You've got that two-player advantage. And Robbie, great swing, takes the aggression onto Loira. Lies there with the trade, but still a lot more bodies that he needs to try and find. He will use the nade to try and remove that BP, but I'm sure there will be guns pointed towards his direction. Even a Fender or two that will just stop his approach. He knows he can't go through there. Even attack from top square.
Pressure either side. They've gone back to the top. They do not want to go down to the basement. There's a site that they couldn't make land. Alamau. Easy pick. And Blaz gets Robbie back, though. And that's just it. Oh, no!
Oh, well, at least it's traded.
But as Lasmo and Doki both take a little bit of a blow, Doki has done this. Sneaks his way in, misfires the first shot, and the slip through does get caught out. They're down the player, but they haven't got the drop. But look at the position underneath. Somebody's coming around for the flank itself. They're going to see if they can try and get the catch. There's the end of one, and now the call's on the last player. But as you said, there's a chance at a C4, and there's a chance at Freck pulling it together. Now Blaz alone. Freck's going to potentially spray up. There's a spray over the top. Instead, they're actually going to rotate around towards main. I said they had really good retakes. We saw it earlier on. And now in the 2 versus 1, they've got to make sure that they operate together, but they don't quite get the right connection. Blaz is trying to dig a fight in the midst. There's a bit of coverage and emotion. Virtue, experience, and expertise leads to clutched rounds.
Oh, Blaz. That is a tough one. Did you notice as well, he kind of, since he lost that, he leant back and forth there for BDS just to make sure that they at least kept it level. I think that was the main thing, wasn't it? Was they didn't allow G2 to rack up. Actually really clever from BDS. BDS have not chosen to go basement until they've had that extra ban. And look what they banned away. A Grim, another execution-based operator, but look at this. A plant attempted. Oh, he got off the plant to get the kill and then come back out again. He maybe could have stuck that, but then again, the C4 tells a different story. But yeah, actually forcing G2 to almost play a bit faster because they don't have the same execution operators up.
Well, they've somehow won the engagements. Now, Doki is a bit far away, and Blast is just going to get picked up here. They have the ping on the player inside Garage, so they rotate their way away and, oh, stack themselves up for the fight. Okay, fine. You can do that, Doki. You're allowed. Now he's got the kit, and he's going to pre-fire the engagement and stay behind the chassis. There's a premonition of Freck's position, and he sees the sort of chance at an engagement. He's hoping and baiting. It's his to take. Oh, and it's perfectly played! I don't know how he did the first, but you can see the... Yes, we're on the defense against the G2 attack on this map. They got 2 rounds. I want to see if they can try and improve that. And that's not the best way of starting it. There goes the opener statistic.
Oh, B4. Also goes down the Loira in through the top floor. G2.
Oh, he's on his cams in the blue. He's on his cam. Loading. He was watching. Alamau was setting himself up. Okay. Looking at more and more ridiculous kills as Freck gets 1, but now he's got to get another 4 to keep themselves fighting here and keep themselves in the lead. But look at this encircling. You've got pressure on lobby. You've got pressure bottom main. Pressure inside the site as well. Does get the header 1, but it's just team that absolutely absolutely loves attacking, and they'll put this extra pressure on towards your better half, and then they get on towards the defense, where being an attacking defender still plays well for them. Stompin finds P4. First is cut in half as still eyeing up this cross pressure. This Frack does get Blaz back. They're going to try and stick the plant. Alamau's in with the shield on his back. The coverage of the smoke itself, and just the Glaz waiting and sort of saying, look, come and swing onto me. There's a post plant with the windows. They finally find the end of the planter, but now they have two players out on the windows. And Demo, you have two options. Jump out of the top square where you've got Loira sitting waiting for that, or go into lobby and try and get the fight there. So they opt for lobby. They're just going to open themselves up a wider route. One of them drops down to watch for exactly that, and one of them is still on the rappel. There goes the rappel player. That's a double swing out. Now it's just Doki left. Doki gets one, but he's a million billion miles away. BDS, another great retake for the day.
Whenever the plant goes down, nobody from BDS is immediately panicking or freaking. All do it together, which is the main thing that I need to get across with how good that is from BDS, is that
their attacks stick instead of where they've sort of had it before, and it's not a million miles worse as the attacking statistic and the entry goes back where he's being watched. It's Freck with the kit, so Freck's just going to peel back just a little, and they look for the engagement elsewhere. Loira, there's one, scratches for the second as pressure comes in behind him, but he's almost driven himself a route out. He's going to try and fight his way through. He knows the blind's coming, and he knows the players are going to be not that much further behind it. Caught by the tail end of a Candela and finally put out of the misery, but still being able to get one.
He's going to get a few fire arrows tossed towards him, and it means he has to go for the peak, and Virtue is there to clean him up. But still, a lot of time denial on side here for G2. That's the only thing they have going for them here. You've got the smokes, you've got the Goyo, you've also got the C4, but look at this BDS. They're not even going to give them an opportunity to go for the deny. They've dropped hatches quickly.
Well, there goes one body. Was it the risk? Was it worth the trade? There's a second Doki! Oh, Virtue, a little bit of drift of a position, and that leaves Freck in the 1 versus 2, but positionally he's right in the middle, so he's going to blind one. Maybe drive onto the second as it's revealed. Hey, man, you're on cam. We know what you're trying to pull. There's the next bit of cover. He takes a scrap of damage, and he's just going to try and drift through, but Doki...
Yes, and G2, again, can just dig their heels in. Doki's got all the Kiba barriers, too, to try and block off the windows. And Doki... Oh, not again! How has he done it twice? Ow!
I cannot believe he's had 2 hip-fire spray headshot kills whilst falling. Ludicrous. Gets 2 kills, throws himself. I mean, it was always going to happen at some point. If you're on bank, Doki is throwing himself out of one of those windows to see what happens. 2 kills unpunished and a flawless round. Even he can't. Steady approach here. Wonder what BDS sort of talked about with their approach, what they can try and remove and play against. Unfortunately, it's not Freck. Doki takes the boogie drones out before they even begin to whir. And Virtue does get Loira back, though, so does level things up. But at this point, the trade out between a Loira on that role and your sort of Ram, who are you sadder about losing?
Oh, great player there from G2, doubling up Doki. The power of having the Izami in the castle. Look how safe those players are in towards that top floor. Haven't been pressured at all. Good pick there against his former teammate. Down goes Doki. Caught him as he cut across the bomb site, as I think he was quite fearful there of that Blackbeard coming in to ruin him. And Virtue's just going to try and full send it in. Oh, takes down Stompin. 3-piece for Virtue. He is firmly into the bomb site now. Robbie gets the down on the Blaz, and all of a sudden G2. But are relying on Alamar of all people to try and get the clutch, and no chance at all whenever you're up against the Blackbeard.
Find the sort of sneak in, get kills moment. It's an opportunity seeking that we've always on the site itself sat waiting patiently, and here's a fight in the middle, and Stompin didn't quite get the rewards that he maybe hoped for. Great comms, great response, but Alamar was at least able to level it off. Gets rid of P4. There's the...
Loading new magazine.
Okay, not entirely sure what happened there.
I'm dry. No more mags.
But it wasn't good, Demo.
No, and there's not a massive amount of plant denial also on the side of G2. All they have is the echo cams, and they've lost the shield. The Gone 6 gets pulled out. Now G2 are really up against it. And Freck looking for that backstab too, and that main stairs, that could also cause them issues.
Well, here's the plant with the glass as the cover. They're watching for the long range, and as you said, there's nothing really to stop it. An Echo drone, is almost not in the right place. Does get picked up by the cover, so now the Echo's got to make a move. Sprays and pre-fires on towards the glass, but it's actually BLAST that gets the cross, and Alamo gets the cover. BLAST from deep is able to lock it out, and there's only 10 seconds. So Frank now swings in close for the fight, but BLAST, well predicted, hit the hammer home. Lasmo, in the meantime, goes for the plant. BLAST, he's been able to pull this from before, has a bit of the cover of the smoke itself. It's a post plant. He pre-fires his way out the door, but BLAST, 3 for the round, but look at his health demo.
Oh my. I mean, BLAST, this guy here, I mean, there's a lot of them on the rooftop at the moment. They've got a little bit of pressure from Square on the Spider-Man rappel is where Virtue's gonna go. P4 able to get Doki, but G2 still holding firm, not gifting any kills from that rappel. But still P4's got his way up through Spiral.
Yeah, I think this is the main thing, right? They're top Spiral now, 40 seconds. They can start trying to formulate a push. The smoke is buying them time, but you can see G2 are desperately trying to hold on to as much terrain here as possible. And BLAST getting the swing onto one. There's the response, though. There's the explosion on towards the site. A 2 versus 1. With a lot of time here for the 2 remaining players. They're just going to set themselves up behind the bomb chassis, go for the plant with Freck as a cover. They have the info, as you said, but seemingly so do BDS. Knew he was coming. Came off and went for the kill. Playing for a retake, but sort of trying to bait them in. Come on in, come above. There's the first C4. It's thrown over the top, and they somehow spin around and drop the blitz. Whoa, what a connection for Loira. BLAST finds Freck, and BLAST finds another, and all right. You say they have their moments, Demo, and that's been G2's difference.
He really is. BDS is gonna lose it here, I think, on Bank, unless they can pull off some big kills in Alamo.
Underneath it, you have to be aware of underneath it. They know our players on the bottom of the stairs, and they could play their life here. And that still takes 15 seconds, 20 seconds out of the approach. And they play their life and get a kill anyway. BLAST is in. There's the pickup. There is G2 with their map.
Like, how good can BDS play when G2's individuals consistently still round away again and again and again? I will say this, impressive play from BDS. Yeah. They're playing good, but G2 once again playing great.
What was the last movie you watched? So we get our bands done.
I watched...
Now I want to go watch the Lord of the Rings movies.
I don't use that gun. Oh my word. That gun is straight up off the window. Oh, well. Speaking of guns, DMRs. Again, always going to be a topic. And there's Loira on the one of 2 DMRs that the defenders still have access to. Virtue is able to get the trade, though. So, honestly, I think Virtue has had such a kind of steady game. Even just a steady kind of series as well. I think he's just appeared with really important kills here and there. And wow, Virtue giving it back to his old former teammates there, Alamo and Doki.
Yeah, I mean, as we came into the map as well as Freck weren't the stronger team on the previous map, and they did it off of clutch plays, and now they're going to see if they can try and do that once more. Sprays either side, and there's finally an execution. Freck was watching and waiting for that fight, and look at this surrounding. BDS get rid of the last problem in the bathroom. Frag grenades, nothing to hop over the top. They really cannot remove that player, and they can't get into this position as well because of the clash. They finally find the first, and it's on to Alamo. Castle's gone, and that's more on towards the site itself as the clash just buys themselves some time. He's about to be surrounded, and Doki wins out inside rafters. But Lasmo taking red stairs could be a big lead in unless that happens. There's the catch. Stomping gets one. Freck almost gets got by Doki, but somehow absolutely decimates the man on rafters. And now with 40 seconds, a 2 versus 2 as Loira just bites back.
Oh, the issue here is, though, Emmy, one of them's a Monty. So really, it's up to Freck to get the kills. I mean, Virtue, he's going to try and swing with a pistol, but Stompin has repositioned himself into construction. And, oh no, the barbed wire! It's what takes out Freck.
Well, the headstrong fight is going to swing its way out over stock. They're still adapting and moving themselves away. Stompin goes up as well. Makes the choice to be a problem later, but as Alamo goes down inside the site, that means that they can operate with way less bodies. Drop on the hatch, pre-fire either side as BLAST gets caught out around AK, so I assume there's the trade back as P4 just actually instead just keeps driving. There's the trade back. Doki Gets one and gets himself across the divide, but too many options, too many possibilities, and stuck for choice, leaving Stompin. Going up above turned into the problem of, well, they know he's not below. Misses the first engagement as the track comes out. I mean, this is just a bit brutal. The burial at the end of a long round. The Deimos calling everything that he's doing. In fact, joins the hunt. Trades out for one. BDS.
But nope, misses that opportunity because that G2 just could not... It just couldn't hold back. Will it win the race, though?
At this point, the first scrappy engagement comes together, ultimately in Doki's favor, but in the meantime, Freck got caught out positions. They've lost it out, and they're still trying to get some pressure underneath Doki. The Buck whirring away, but think about the time, think about the pressure, and almost another body taken out. But now they've got this side closed down. They've still got to pass construction. Not another barbed wire. Oh, not another round for Stompin. Virtue drifts on by and drops him like he was nothing. Leaves us in again. Another 4 versus 2 on this site. But bit of motion gets one. They also get one elsewhere as well. And narrow escape, but now they know exactly where the last player is. Alamau, he has 2 smokes in his pocket. He could try and buy himself an escape route and get some wiggle room. But look at the rotation. They're just going to go get the kit, try and get a little bit of width on the approach so they can throw themselves in. 13 seconds, and when they hit it, it's got to stick, and it does. BDS.
You have to make sure that your util is on point whenever you're going to go for this, but there's still Wamitis, there's still, denial here of the util that G2 could utilize.
There's the stress, there's the pressure, and there's the first blow against them as Stompin finds Freck and finds a little bit of safety and sanctity amongst it, but they're playing on the wrong side of an open mirror window so they could see that approach coming, and there's 2 more, 3 more, make it! Stompin gets himself another for the round, and Loira gets the end of it, and
anything to really deal with the garage. So yeah, bedroom and Logi is what they're currently working on. You've got some players coming in from that side. I'm actually going to go for the wall being opened up right now, and again, are they really going to risk trying to go for the default whenever you know you're up against a smoke? I mean, I suppose with the time it makes sense though, no? Like, if you've got garage control, and typically if you're coming from garage, it's all about the plant denial. That's usually the issue. It's just how safe players can sit over towards red and throw their util and stop that plant going down. But because they've been able to take garage so quickly, you're now in a position where you could just burn through that utility with such ease. Lasmau takes a lot of damage, but gets a kill in return, and look who they've been able to take out. It's the smoke. The util is now gone.
There goes one more for the trouble. Freck tears his way across, and Stompin a back line with a single impact to his name and no impact on the rest of the round. Again, you have high expectations for G2 as we always do, but
obviously I think for G2 that, that last round, yes, you lose that early control, but I like the fact that BDS
Moto first. There's the blind on this side instead. It's sort of part of the drop, and there's the off to the races, sprayed through. P4 somehow survives as Freck's able to swing onto one. There's a couple that go back and forth, but Freck keeps locking it in. The shotgun can't quite get on the rotate. It's Freck still in the core. A 1 versus 1. Loira versus Robbie with 20 seconds at this point. Slips his way through. Does he opt for the engagement? They're getting themselves into this position. He's got 12 seconds, which means 1 opportunity to come off the plant and go for a swing, really, truthfully. Loira, he's going to stick it as he made the right choice. No.
Oh, Robbie. Big old 1v1. So...
turns his back and goes for the sprint away and gets out of there as well. That's at least Robbie back, but...
Yeah, missed opportunity, but still, at least a kill. And a good pick as well, don't forget the Azami. And there would have been probably, what, at least 2 keeper barriers still to recharge. Stompin, just straight up wall by Freck.
Here, G2. Been able to get it a little bit quicker, but you think about the positions that still need to pressure, and, well, they're still positioning them. Stompin. Said P4 often finds himself in these odd positions, and there is another one that he is punished for. Leaves us in a 4 versus 2. It was actually common ground the other way around in the first half, and at this point, with the reveal of what's open and where they're going, drop the drone and pull themselves off towards Logi. It's a nice little move. But he's about to find a friend above the hatchet itself. That's the worry. He hears them coming out. The bees land as well. And will he get caught? No, they don't spray on the back of it. They don't catch anything on the C4 either. And he's got a bit less to work with. Lasmo does get one, but he's under intense pressure right now. And he needs Virtue to offer some support. Virtue, he's able to drift himself around. There's the hop in. There's double for Blaz. I said we didn't quite have them before, but now Freck's playing this well. He's keeping himself just a little bit further away. He's got an ump. And that, I mean, not the strongest gun. It's definitely stronger than that at that range. There's another one for Robbie as well. They're still concerned. Great motion here by Freck. He's got himself into Logi, and he can just apply this pressure. He can get caught out at this point. He's already done more than enough in that he's drawn the players out and away from it. It allows a little bit of a swing back, but as the fight is so scrappy, Loira. Oh, he's beating himself up to not get that kill, but he does get somebody else instead because he just screams in on towards the breach. Robbie gets himself a third for the round, and unfortunately Alamau cannot quite get the catch he would want. The grenade forces the motion elsewhere. A 1 versus 1, but Robbie! You said you wanted more here.
BDS, Robbie. It's been that guy. Wow. 6-3. BDS.
Yes, obviously some of them will get traded. Yes, obviously we have a 6-3 scoreline. That means that 3 of the times, or 2 of the times it's gone into their favor, but I mean, that one they get, and they do it by just sending it in, but it's very quickly traded back out by Freck.
Comes back and just go for the plant.
There's the plan. He's in, he's off, and he's going to go for the plant itself. Is there a C4 to catch it? Yes, and then there's also a fight that goes across either side. Quick reaction by BDS, but now it's 2 versus 2. G2 going to try and get the gun skill to run it through to the end, but it's only Loira left. No, it isn't. It's a BDS.
So for G2, they've already shown Clubhouse now. They might as well allow it through and allow it to be played.
And look at this graphic. For once, what do we see? The 3 fraggers on the side of BDS are stepping up. They're all stepping up when it matters the most against a team that is individually skilled. And it works well because now Freck is back.
My eyes. I think the team needs to get themselves up for this. Is it maybe a case of G2 where they think, you know what, job's done today? First, last stage? But why not go for a back-to-back? Where's the ambition? They spotted him enough to get the track. That's the question I would like to know. But oh, the P90. Not favorable against the Deimos. Loira goes down. Good first engagement. Won by Robbie, who really today is just the 1v1 guy, which is weird considering that Stompin is in this lobby.
Double stack. And Virtue is there as well, but look, P4! How many times does he make a play like this? It doesn't always connect in the same way, but there's 2 quick kills, and there's a quicker round. Fully get himself situated. Blaz disagrees. Now they've got to operate for 2 minutes without P4 or any of his gadgetry, and also a C4 removes Lasmo as well. This round has instantly bounced back. What a different turn of face this has been. Doki and Robbie get big chunks out of each other. They're sort of just saying, look, come on, swing, swing. We know you're coming at this point. Ooh, Robbie does get at least 1. They're trying to get the pinch on this player between them, but are they going to try and fight their way out via Robbie? It does seem that way. Slips their way across. Lucky timing for the defender to not be caught by Robbie's position. And I say that, he's just going to step in anyway. He does get the kill, but gets caught out. Stomping. There's a 1 versus 1. I don't know how you strike that up, but as Loira picks up the pieces, it does at least count as the trade.
Lined up straight into that position. Knows where Loira is. Is he aware that Doki is also to his left? Now he will know.
Now he is.
Too many angles. I mean, 3 different angles the guys to fight against, and it's just. But really, they've got every avenue covered. Like, this is quite good as well if you look at G2. They're bringing plenty of stuff just to stop these crouch boxes. They've got traps. They've got barbed wire. They're not allowing BDS just to slip into the bomb site is what they did previously.
Couple of tears of heads off either side, and well, they've been able to at least get one of the players out as Doki's removed and keep the pressure on towards the site. But think about how far out they are. B4 is still running some drones in, trying to get some control, and maybe there's one more Flores drone to make it work. But his Loira is fighting Virtue on the other side, and it's a 1 versus 1 here. They have to find a way to close down on a single player, but Alamau and Stompin win out those engagements, and now P4 can only be described as late to the party. Stompin, sick of Alamau, kills. close to their chest. As soon as he enters through the door, it's a play on contact. They hear the rip of the flash, and I mean, they're just perfectly reactive to each other, Demo.
Yeah, again, boosting that approach from BDS, and almost felt as though like they lost Freck, and they kind of looked like a little bit. Alamaus came over to try and give said support on that flash. BDS don't really have anything to go against the flash, so this is the main thing though, but Freck just slips in, look at that.
It's a game that they've done many, many times. When they know that they have an advantage on it, well, why not throw ourselves in? They won't expect it as much. They're trying to buy as much time as possible. Loira checked and double checked, and now, well, I was gonna say it's just one left, but it isn't. Strong. Had questions about this map when it first sort of came in. You had the back of Labs that was really good, and we'll get to the follow through here. Does Robbie know? No is the answer. A Stompin pops up, puts him down, and heads on.
And I'm looking at the lineup, and all they have is the Capitão. If those Capitão bolts are not going to hit it smart, they've got nothing in terms of util.
It's also the split of they don't have anything to have opened the wall as well, but they do have Virtue. Oh, swings his way around. Gets the double across the top, and this is that split, right? I was about to make the point that they don't have anything to open the back wall, so even if they try and snuck themselves in, well, this position that Doki's in is a powerful one, but at this point as well, even if they're not outside that site, they can just try and, Capitão bolt themselves in, drop the hatch and go for the fight at the same second, 20 seconds, and it's got to go sharpest. They're trying to find where the two players are. The Kiva's going to slow them down. Oh, plays against the utility, sprays through, another Kiva. There needs to be a punch from the side, and there it is, round the back, Freck. Leaves just Blaz alone, blinded, sprayed and caught, and BDS operate brilliantly. From the window itself, P4 though, he's just being smoked out, I think, and oh yeah, fire instead. He still drives behind it, and this is the decision making we talked about of him as a player. He's fearless. Sometimes it's a benefit, sometimes it's a boon, but here as it opens the door, removes the smoke, 50 seconds, there's the cross, they're just sending it, Demo. All the way in, BDS. Once again, scream and charge their way across the top. Blaz blinked and all of his team was dead. Does get one. I mean, you know, P4 and Lasmo massively hurt, but at this point they can watch it from a bit of range. They've planted on the default and Robbie cuts him in half anyway. 4-2.
Made the round, took so much damage from smoke or the flames. Don't know what it was exactly, but whatever it was doing tick damage to him. And he just kept pushing. And as long as he's at 1 HP, he's still a threat. Gets the opening pick. That will be an opened up. It signifies, okay, it's going to be a default plan. How do they work around this?
And can they? As the pressure starts to surround them, it's the fire that pushes them to the end. There's another kill picked up by Blaz as well. It's one on Loira with a cap can. But at this point, Freck against the world, really. BDS. They just got
the same outcome, you know, where they're in where they want to be in towards ops. They can now rotate their util dumpers. Again, you have that grim more towards ops. Robbie's been able to get Doki though, so they have got the first pick. And look who they've been able to get though. It is the Capitão. So clearing out Freck
was the default plant, and that is the time that has been brought towards them. You assume it's Virtue with the C4, but as Stompin gets P4, we're going to find out. There's the plant being attempted. Alamau moves off, and Stompin gets one more for the trouble. But Loira does go down. 7 seconds. They don't have the kit. They don't have anybody left because Freck swings it round. Freck! Bloody Freck!
Sweeping perimeter.
And preparing themselves for just such a rematch against Falcons. Something they'll probably be happy for. And Freck is trying to drive them there. Caught out, Stompin. Make sure it doesn't last very long and wants to keep sending himself for the next fight, but there's only a couple of bullets left. Baited into Loira. Oh, and he expects the fight, but he can't win it out.
It's just the case of keeping that man advantage now, isn't it? Same way that kind of BDS steamrolled through this, but a double flank. You never expect the second, do you?
Partially covered here. Asmo is still the one that's desperate for the engagement. Just gonna keep sending him his way around. 30 seconds and he pops the fire, but there's the kill and there's P4. Popping another.
That's the kit.
28 seconds. They're trying to double up so they can push this as a 2 versus 1 on towards contact. They've got to wait at least, and look how far back he's going. The safety and the pre-pep smash on towards. But as the plant is being put together, there's the spray round, and Lawyer actually went down and came back on towards it. There's another bit of motion here. P4, he's trying to find the opportunity. There's one. Oh, it's ring around the rosies, but he doesn't have much left. It's stomping.
It's a massive 1v1 for his side. I mean, G2 almost bottling that round, which is weird.
Round on, that grenade will force them into somebody's firefight with the Fenrir on the catch. It's one, and Doki a step behind.
Dokkaebi. I mean, it's only Carl at the end of the day, Amy, so it's not too crazy. Stomping should get a hit here. Yeah, there he is. Lasmau just dancing on the table, gives himself up, and G2 almost loses his life. And that should be enough to scare them off. Now we have the vertical pressure that G2 can apply onto the remaining players in bomb site. P4 is gone.
And now, as they're just going to get themselves planted, I mean, Stompin's got it locked down. They're trying to find the fish, and unfortunately, none of them are biting. G2 snuck themselves in, crashed it across the top, and now
here's something, and there we go. Shoots the drone, makes his presence aware. Now for G2, they know it's a 3v5 on site if they want to go that route, and maybe they are. Down goes actually Stompin, but there's a down on the Virtue, and another kill comes in, but it's very trade off by Robbie again. Oh, how has he got that with a pistol? Free for him.
just threw himself in, and Alamau staring through the scope at things moving away. We hear a C4 ripped. It's ready to be loosed. He's pushed himself all the way up, but the timeout, it's worked wonders here. BDS, they are one round away.
Vertical work or breach in charge, it's going to be Loira, but no, it just feels like a matter of time really here for G2 until they get this round overboard. You can see where Stomp's rotated now. Also, this great rotation over towards Blast, who has been traded out but still got his one. There's P4 to pick up Stompin', but now they know that the site is completely open to move in and go for this plant. So really good reaction speed for G2 to immediately get onto that basin where their teammates had just died.
Too little, too late for that angle. And maybe too little, too late for the round as well. P4, he put his head back for a second there. I think he knows he's heading to OT. And yes, he is.
C4 though being ripped, because that's the only C4 that they had. So really the plant denial, it's a lot of pressure on the P4, and oh, Virtue. G2 can recalibrate, they're going to be ready for this. They've spotted out the player that needed to find being Robbie, who's just going to be trapped now. They're actually going to try and get him back. Smoke off the bathroom window, but no, Robbie. Loira's jumped in, found two of them. A free piece for the Brazilian. Blast jumps onto another. Freckle by himself. A quad kill for Loira.
More aggressive, they make sure they're not as comfortable. That is as uncomfortable as they could be, as Doki just fully steps in, and a single grenade removes all of that. And oh, there's two quick kills. That's from the breach across the way, I believe, maybe even actually from underneath. It's Stompin. Gets one as to pick back up. We can hear the blinds, the Candelas rolling in towards Ops. It was from underneath. They have the angles, and now Stompin, he's got himself to a semblance of safety. The Tabarao will buy them some time. But look at the positions here. They're going to long arm the chance at a throw. In fact, no! Alamau goes out, double dips, does some damage, and pulls back. A 3 versus 3. The breach will still come together, but Freck finds another head. Wants to swing in. He's about to have a close engagement, but as the blind pops out, oh! Big risk, bigger reward. Virtue. All that's left.
P4.
That's it. The smoke canister will force him further and further away into a rough engagement. BDS, for all the fight that they've had, for all they've been managed to achieve, G2. They've put themselves 2 versus 1 away from progressing along the lower bracket. Another smoke. They're not overextending. They're not overexerting. No. They know how to play this game, Virtue. And they know your game probably better than anybody else. So at this point, he's just hoping to bait them in. They have some of the read. There's the hole and the confirmation. Doesn't even know where to begin to go at this point. Tucks himself around. There is still the C4. Look at the rotation Stompin's taken, though. He's on the other side of the door. He's happy. That C4 won't quite net the kill. It's a post plant. No, it isn't. It's the game over. G2.
Over BDS. What a game that we've just had between these two squads, back and forth the entire time. And for that, though, Doki said he'll join us on the interview later on this evening, and indeed, he lives up.
What's up, guys?
God,
What's good?
I get it. You know, you ever get this feeling of deja vu?
Nah.
I get it when I see Doki in interview. I feel like I'm
That
just,
rhyme?
I think like G2 game rhymes with Doki interview at the end, you know? I feel like that's just the story.
Yeah, because we always win, right? Apart from Gen.G and Falcons and Secret.
You know,
But we did beat Gen.G today.
10-team league.
Yeah, yeah.
that's still not too bad. I mean, you still made it, and you're here, and you get to play Falcons tomorrow. Very much looking forward.
Oh, yay.
And then
great.
maybe a secret
Why?
afterwards.
Why do you react that way? You're supposed to be like the best of the best. Isn't that the whole thing?
Bro, let me just tell you right now, okay? So we've just stressed out all week about possibly not qualifying for the major, okay?
Yeah.
We've came in today, destroyed Gen.G. First game was very hard. BDS, no prep. Tough game. They're playing good Siege. We're playing like not to 100%. It's tough, okay? And then you're like, okay, I can go to sleep now and rest. But no, then you
the more you
realize
play
you're
Falcons.
playing probably the two best teams in the world. Again, and not including us in best of threes.
To be fair, Doki,
And you need to win because you got to go to SI because it's hard to make SI these days. So it's like,
You don't get
yeah,
hitting
yay,
invites like back in the day.
yay. Falcons, yay!
Oh, well.
Are you scared or are you just tired?
I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done.
I'm
I'm
retiring.
sick. I'm sick. I'm really sick.
Yeah,
I
you-
can't see. I can't see. I'm playing. I'm like this. I'm like, my eyes are just bleeding.
Just move back to the new glasses. We don't care how you look.
It's not the glasses. It's the sickness. I'm sick. It's the winter, bro. It's shit.
You live in Scotland. You're used to the winter. That's basically life there.
That's true. It's always cold. Yeah.
I feel for
We
you,
should. We
Doki.
should have a tournament in like Brazil again. So it's hot.
That's a good idea.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great, that's the best idea I've ever had.
Yep.
We agree on that.
I do feel for the support staff of G2 more though, because will Romalio and Cameraman not now be up all night prepping the two teams for tomorrow?
Doesn't matter.
No, you're not bothered about them.
Don't care about them. They're old. Like they have it easy. They're just old.
And they're in
So,
the warm country of Brazil as well.
They're in Brazil. Romalio, by the way, Romalio and Camera worked their ass off. Okay, Romalio and Camera worked their ass off, and Romalio says last week he's like, I'm gonna go to the beach. okay, fair enough. But no, to be honest, I'm not trying to downplay. Those guys work their ass off. They just constantly work. Doing, you know, we have 10 new strats every day for our theory, and we have smart enough players that we don't need to practice it. We can just play it. So it's really nice. Like they had strats prepared for BDS. They say, guys, just play this. Look at the sheet. Look at the operators. Play this. Like trust us. It's brilliant. It's really good.
Well, Doki, you can also go to the beach in Scotland, right?
Yeah,
You can.
I can. Technically, I can.
There you go.
I might freeze to death, but yeah, I can.
At this point, there's not much of a difference between your current situation and that situation. So we'll you know,
Oh, true.
you're
I'm
sick. See, it took
I'm
a
sick.
second. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sick. Well,
now-
hopefully the sickness doesn't kill me, but you never know.
Yeah, well, because we need you to tell
One
us.
can hope.
We need you to tell us what Blaz's cat's name is.
I don't know.
You know what? All I'm gonna say is, if you win tomorrow against Team Falcons, I expect you to know.
To be honest, I probably won't remember to ask him, and I also don't care. It's like, whatever. It's probably some stupid Blaz name.
What?
Like, I don't know.
I care, and I thought you would
Fred.
care about it too. Fred, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Well,
French
Fred the
name,
cat.
Fred.
Yeah.
well, Jack.
I will get that information when you go get some sleep.
Yeah,
I will be
he's-
in Blast and I will figure out the situation.
Yeah, this man is
Yeah.
losing his mind. Go sleep before we
I need
lose
sleep.
ours.
I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
We'll
See
see.
you tomorrow.
Maybe.
I will. I haven't came this way to just lose to Falcons. Like, duh.
If you have Blaz's cat's name, maybe we'll talk about it. Anyways, have a good
Maybe.
night, Doki. Bye-bye.
All right.
But the problem is always the same. The floor of the player
Yeah.
is so much
Yeah,
lower
it
than the
is.
floor of G2's players. Look at the EPS score once again from the side of Alemao, Doki, the players that performed the worst, in that matchup. It's nowhere near Virtu and Before on the other side.